Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another wonderful episode of the House of Moody Vintage podcast. Great to be back a little earlier than usual. I just came back from from my friend's place. So we just watched the first preseason match of the new campaign under a new manager. You know, Erik ten Hag, of course, in charge of Manchester United. And they won. They played Liverpool, and of course, they're here in Bangkok. I literally live like 15 minutes away from the stadium. Did I decide to go? Absolutely not. Okay? Because, well, first of all, apparently they didn't sell all their tickets. So I've gathered the information that I've gathered. The reason why I didn't go, why myself and a friend of mine who was also a United fan, why we didn't go is because I think the really good tickets were like 7,000 baht. That's nearly $200. Nearly. And I know what you're thinking. $200 is not that much, you know, compared to sporting events in the States, right? To an NBA game or perhaps the football game. You know, $200 just seems like something that's, you know, they're good seats, right? Well, the reason why I personally decided not to go. And I think my friend would probably, if the tickets were cheaper, then yes, we might have gone. If it was 50% less, we might have gone. Honestly, we might have gone. But it wasn't. And on top of that, I think what really detracted me from going was, number one, I am not a fan of this squad, right? I mean, if you're a United fan or you just watched the Premier League, you know what happened last season. It was a fucking joke, okay? Manchester United, they're like, you know, it's like what you call it, a pile of shite, you know, a pile of shite. And the squad is filled with a bunch of cowards, you know. I'm sorry, it's the truth. We have a squad filled with a bunch of cowards. They're hella toxic, and I don't want anything to do with them, okay? They're really bad for the culture. You know, David De Gea is probably and Cristiano Ronaldo, the only two players that, you know, basically week in and week out saved United's ass last season. And of course, De Gea, you know, saved United's ass for multiple seasons. So we're not going to even go there. Anyways, didn't go. Ronaldo's not even here. Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo is not even here. So No, I don't want to see these people. No, I'm not. I'm still upset with this team, you know. Did we beat Liverpool today 4-0? Yes, but it's preseason. It don't mean jack shit. It just means, you know, you get like a nice little brief taste, like a preview of what this team is capable of and what they need to work on. They need to work on a lot, and we need center midfielders. Okay, there's a reason why I don't talk about sports. I would love to talk about sports at a extended period of time, you know, or just even, you know, dedicate an entire episode to it. But so much frustration going on right now. My Lakers are not doing well. You know, I know they're trying to get Kyrie Irving. Man, I don't want Kyrie, bro. I don't want Kyrie on the team. You know, I think he's a problem child. I'm not a fan of his. He's a great player, but he's inconsistent. He's injuries, and then he's got his personal stuff and all this crap. I don't want it, dude. I don't want it. If he needs help, he needs, you know, professional help, and hopefully he seeks it. I have nothing against him personally, but it's too much of a distraction, and I really don't see them winning the championship if now that Kyrie is here, you know. Anyways, that's a whole different story. But didn't go to the Manchester United match. The boys played well. They played well, but you know, a lot of work to do. But it's a good positive start to the preseason. You know, now they're off to Australia. They're going down under, you know, in Australia. So 3 more matches to go preseason, and then you know, we're actually a month away from the beginning of the real season, the regular season. So looking forward to that. So we play Brighton upon Hove. I play Brighton in the first fixture. So looking forward to that. I'll definitely be more excited to watch. I know. Listen, if Ronaldo was here, I probably would have gone. Because he's the only reason I would actually go and watch a match. Anyways, still had fun watching it. Good time. Came back. After a good weekend, I had another good weekend. Like I said, a couple of friends are headed off to one of them headed off to Europe, the other one back to Bangladesh, for Eid, right on time for Eid. We had a good Eid. It wasn't big hoopla or anything like that, but we had fun nonetheless. It was just a regular chill hangout, which again, it's something that I actually prefer, to have a, I just, when it comes to like birthdays and stuff, like I don't make a big deal about my birthdays. I've probably talked about this before. Other people's birthdays, yeah, I enjoy, like being there, taking part in it. But even though I don't make a big deal out of mine, it's still fun to celebrate other people. To me, I don't know. To me, that's more appealing to me. It's to go to other people's, like to celebrate other people, go to their events or whatever. It's just fun. I like giving. I don't know. I like not giving. Sorry, let me put it this way. I like seeing people happy, and if whatever it is, my part in it, even if it's insignificant, be a very small, minute little detail or piece or whatever of the bigger puzzle, I'm all for it because, they're happy. So, I want to see my friends happy. I love them to death. So, just want to see them have a good time. I want to see everybody have a good time, man. Let's all have a fucking good time. Okay. God damn it. Because, that's what we're going to do. It's just like, that's what we try to do on the weekends. We get tipsy. Sometimes we get really, 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 really drunk. But we have a really good time, because we were having a really good time, which was coined by my lovely friend, one of my closest friends, Natasha. So shout out to her. She's in Europe right now, in Switzerland, doing very posh European things in Geneva. So shout out to her. So just had a great Eid weekend. It was a great long weekend. I had a day off from work. Didn't ask for it, but it was a holiday thing, so I enjoyed it. I did not take it for granted. I've never taken anything for granted in my life, but no, there is no buts. This occasion was no exception to the rule. I was so grateful for those extra 2 days off, when you have a 4-day weekend, especially from when it's from work. It's just, I revel in it. But although I'm still thinking of asking for maybe a few more days off. But I don't know, maybe that's somewhere down the line. We'll see. I got lots to talk about. It was another week of a lot of binging. TV shows, not any other substances. It was the season 3 finale of The Boys. That wasn't a binge because it's the new season on Amazon Prime Video. And dude, what an epic ass finale. Like if you want to do a finale, that's how you do it. Especially if it's a superhero show. And I've said this many times before on everywhere really. If anybody asks me and they ask, what is your favorite comic book superhero show, it would be The Boys. It would be The Boys. There's no competition. There's no competition. There have been some really, really great, superhero or comic book, not films, shows. Films, of course, different, but nothing beats The Boys. Nothing has beaten The Boys for me. So if you haven't seen it, I effing urge you. This is not a family project. It's not like Stranger Things. You can't, it's not a family thing. It's very adult, content, very rated R, a lot of gore, a lot of nudity and sexual content and all that stuff, drug use and all this stuff. So, but it is, my opinion, I don't think anything beats it. I think this is the standard of superhero films superhero TV shows, like superhero comic book TV shows. This is it. The Boys is it. Great finale. And has so many jaw-dropping moments, wonderfully executed as usual. The characters, how they've written the character, great writing overall. Show's amazing, and it's not for everyone. There have been a few surprises with people who have gone through it. Like they'll watch season 1 or they'll like it, but not they're not in love with it, right? And I'm a little surprised that they didn't appreciate it as much as I did or liked it as much as I did, and they just didn't. It just didn't grab on hold. They didn't really. It didn't grab their attention or their focus or their I don't know what's that word. I'm blanking right now. It didn't do enough to keep them around, basically. Okay, so it's not for everybody, right? It's art, it's subjective, but majority will tell you this is a great fucking show. Probably the damnedest best superhero / comic book TV series you can watch. So I've said that probably 500 times already by now. I'm just stupidly just excited. I'm like thinking to myself, I sat there and I was like, how are they going to top this in season 4? And of course, they set up season 4 and tie whatever loose ends there were, but then there are certain outcomes where you're thinking, okay, how is this going to evolve? How are they going to approach this in season 4? And as I think the show will go on as long as Butcher bites the dust. I mean, I'm not going to get into details, or if you're an avid follower of the comic book, I don't know, you might be, you might know what's happening or what's going to happen, whatever. But in season 4, I'm just excited. So I think the show will go on until, I'm personally thinking they might go until season 5, because a lot of TV shows now, they don't do the whole, freaking 20 seasons, weekly, episodic, structure like they did before, right? That's not how TV is now. Also, it was also the season finale of Miss Marvel, right? Wasn't it Miss? I think so. I'm just gonna double check this real quick so I don't put my foot up my mouth. Miss Marvel, episode 6. July 13th. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, it's coming out. It's coming out July 13th, which is tomorrow, which is of course the Wednesday. So yeah, which is 6 episodes. So talking about last week's episode 5, and I discussed this in the past episode, right? I liked it, but there's a lot of question marks, like more questions than answers, so to speak. And it's like, how are they gonna conclude all that in like maybe 30 minutes? And there's no talk or rumors of being a season 2. There might be season 2. It's it's likely, but it's not confirmed, and it's not like, oh, is it actually going to happen? Because the next time you're going to see Miss Marvel is not in season 2 of a series. I think it's going to be in a film. So in the MCU. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to wrap that up in 30 minutes of an episode. There's only 6 episodes in the season, and I don't know. I sit there thinking, well, every episode's been like 30 minutes, right? I think it's 6 episodes too short, bro. Too short. 8 episodes I can understand, but 6 is just, I don't know. And Marvel's been on a dip, in this phase 4 of their plans, the phase 4 of Marvel Cinematic Universe, or well, now there's television as well. But yeah, there's been a dip. And Thor: Love and Thunder, which I did not watch in theaters because of the reviews, I was like, I don't know, man. I love Taika Waititi. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. Love him to death. But, from the reviews that I've seen, and it's not universally loved. But yeah, I'm just going to wait until it gets on Disney Plus, and I want to watch it on Disney Plus. I mean, there's no other way I can sum up or explain why I decided not to go to the theaters and watch it, because I just didn't want to feel disappointed in the sense. And I know it's fun. A lot of people still went to it and watched it. They thought it was fun. It was a good time. I understand. I get that. But it has to be a really damn good film for me to actually go to, to spend my money, hard-earned money, to go watch it, in IMAX or something, and if I come out of it and I thought it was mediocre, I'm just gonna be really disappointed, because I love Taika Waititi. But I've heard that it was just more comedy than it was actual, sort of, I don't know. Tor has become a comedian apparently. It's more, haha jokes rather than putting more focus into, I don't know, maybe the story or the character development. Or I heard the chemistry was great between Natalie Portman's character and Chris Hemsworth. It developed quite well, something that we didn't get in the past, films. So yeah, I don't know. The reviews weren't as favorable as I wanted them to be, for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it in theaters. You know what I mean? So, I decided not to. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's that. The Boys is fantastic. It's great. If you haven't watched it, please catch up on it. It's up to season 3. We're waiting for season 4. Season 4 already got lit. It's under in production and so on. So looking forward to that. What else? So there was also Westworld season 4, episode 3. Listen, dude, I'm liking it so far. I like the whole the script has been flipped. The hosts are in control. Some of it takes place in the 1920s. You'll see what I mean by that, which is playing right into my. I mean, y'all know me. I'm a huge history nut. I love history, and so obviously I love watching periodicals or ancient storytelling in the theatrical presentation, right, in that type of medium. So, whether it's in television or movies, history is my thing. So seeing those kind of elements in Westworld is pretty cool. I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do while I'm recording. I'm gonna adjust my camera. It's really bothering me. I have OCD. So I'm just gonna. Okay, there you go. If you're watching on YouTube, you just saw what I did. Okay, I had to adjust something really quick. It's really getting on my nerves. Anyways, wow, that's a first. Hey, it's my show. I can do whatever I want. So back to Westworld, right? Jeffrey Wright's back in this episode. Awesome. One of my favorite actors. And of course he's a critical component to the whole story. So it's great to have him back. So this is a whole different dynamic to it. There's there's a wonderful cliffhanger. I'm digging it, man. I think if you guys fell off on season 3, again, I've said this before, I understand why, but season 4 so far has been promising. 3 episodes in, it's I've enjoyed it. I can see maybe the people who had the same criticism in season 3 won't have it for season 4 so far. Okay, for what I've seen so far, for 3 episodes into it, it's been doing a pretty damn decent job. I think it was a good job so far. So it's been so for season 4, I think it gives you a completely different perspective, and it's kind of not really like there's like sort of this balancing act between the real world and then going back to Westworld, because it's several years later, and the park is open again, the Westworld, I guess what would you call it? Yeah, the park. It's like it's not a theme park, but you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen the show. It's open again, and the hosts are back. The hosts are controlling it. Sorry, spoilers, but you guys probably don't know what the hosts are if you haven't seen it, so not really spoilers. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, but I'm loving this take on it. How they've flipped things around, and how the sort of certain hosts are trying to help humans, and again try to strike that fine balance between the real world and AI and things like that, and try not to have it overtake the other or overwhelm the other and completely just swallow it whole, so to speak. So you have to have like a nice little balance, and it's something that we were seeing in the real world right now. A lot of technology and artificial intelligence and machine learning and all this stuff, metaverse and all that great stuff. So we're facing that as well. These machines that humans have made are taking over, and they've been taking over for years now. So we'll see where that goes in real life. But Westworld, I say give it another shot, man. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of it, yes. But if you didn't like season 3, it's perfectly fine. Try to work through it. Maybe you need a little refresher. Try to work through it. I know it's tough. But season 4, I think so far right now, it's been really good. Okay? Give it a shot. All right? Just give it another shot. Give it a second chance. It's only asking for a second chance in their 4th season. Okay? I also finally finished 1883, which is a prequel, right? Which goes back 7 generations, basically the beginning of the characters and storyline of Yellowstone, right? Something that I was gushing about for like 15 minutes straight. 15 or 20, I don't know how long it was in the last episode of Yellowstone. And this is, of course, again, right down my alley. It's 1883. It's post Civil War. It's Civil War for me. I don't know. It's very strange. Like I said, I'm a huge history. I'm a geek when it comes to history. I love history. It was always one of my favorite subjects growing up in school, in elementary school or, junior high or high school or whatever. It was my thing. I love history. I love geography. I love history. So, but for some odd reason, the Civil War, which was covered extensively, and of course, the history books that we had in my generation, it's not what it is now. Where we know the real, true type of transparency when it comes to the U.S. history, right? When it comes to the colonies, when it comes to the Native Americans and all that stuff, which kids are rightfully getting exposed to now. Now it's not all all nationwide, unfortunately. There are certain school districts that are, a little backwards and moronic. But, excuse me. But, yeah, it's never really held my attention. I always found it, this is going to sound I don't want to say boring, okay? That's insulting. I don't know. Something about it is unattractive to me. As opposed to if you compare it to other parts of history, throughout U.S. history, I should say, because I'm more interested in obviously world history, right? It could be, all the way from ancient Egypt to ancient Greece, ancient Rome, around the Assyrians and so on. So the other day I saw basically a video of the origins of the wow, my mind's going blank. The Indo-European languages, right? the Indo-European languages, the tree and where it actually originated, and it's so freaking fascinating. It's something that you wouldn't even think of, where it actually came from, and how there's so many words that maybe a word that you might have heard in example in Europe that we use in South Asia, and there's so much mixed to it, all the way from western part of Europe, western or northern part of Europe, to all the way down to India, or Bangladesh and so on. So it's yeah. So those kind of things always capture my attention. I love that. I love world history. I love more of the world part of it. You know what I mean? And much more of, there's more rich history and rich cultures in other parts of the world except the United States. You know what I'm saying? But I love the whole Native American, backdrop and so cowboy films, right? Like the old school cowboy films, the Clint Eastwood, John Wayne's, no thanks. The Clint Eastwood, films, the famous trilogies and so on. Those have always, I've always loved them. I love the cowboy thing, and nowadays, of course, we're seeing more realistic depiction of, the cowboy life and Native Americans and things like that. And that's what you get from 1883. And it's so beautifully, I mean, it's Taylor Sheridan, of course, so it's not a surprise. He also makes a cameo in one of the episodes. Tom Hanks makes a cameo. And I think who else? Someone else makes a cameo. My mind's going blank. A very, very famous person. Billy Bob Thornton. So he's in an episode as well. Anyways, so it takes place in the West, of course, the Wild West. And that's when it was the Wild West, the 1883 in the 19th century, where it was basically lawless, and there were thieves, there were type of raiders and just bandits, bandits and cowboys and sheriffs and Native Americans, the Comanche and Navajo and all them good folks of the native lands that the Americans had stolen from them. It just shows it basically goes back 7 generations where it all began for the Dutton family, which you get to see in Yellowstone, the TV series Yellowstone. And so just went back to it, and it is so beautifully made. And it is a 10 episode season, but it's only one season, so it's technically categorized as a miniseries. But I totally agree with what Taylor Sheridan said about this specific series, 1883, is that he said it's just a very long 10-episode, a 10-hour film. It's a 10-hour film, and that's exactly what it feels like. It's like you're watching a 10-hour film, right? I know that sounds daunting. It's not. It's one story. There's a beginning. There's an end. It's a miniseries for a reason. But it feels like a film. It's like a 10-hour film, and it's written that way, and it's shot that way. It's edited that way, and that's how the whole story from the first minute to the last, the character building and how, where it originated from, who was the focal point of the entire story, who is Elsa Dutton, the daughter of oh my god, my mind's going blank here. Anyway, well, he's played by Tim McGraw. Okay, Tim McGraw's in there, Faith Hill in there, real life married couple, of course. Faith Hill, I've had that. Faith Hill, man, she is just, oh my goodness. It's like she just gets more beautiful as the years go by, I mean, she looks beautiful as ever. She hasn't changed a bit. So Tim McGraw plays as James Dutton, right? He's the main patriarch. It basically shows their, migration to the state of Montana, which of course Yellowstone takes place in. And then of course there's Sam Elliott, and Isabel May, who is basically the heart and soul of the story. And Isabel May is the actress. Sorry, she's the actress who plays Elsa Dutton, who is James Dutton's daughter. And the way this character is written is so beautiful. And by the time you get to the end of the series, and the first 2 words that came into my mind, and that I've said so many times before, but it was heartbreakingly beautiful. The story was heartbreakingly beautiful, and mainly because of, obviously the cast was amazing. Of course, they were brilliant, but Isabel May, the actress who plays Elsa Dutton, it feels like the damn character was made for her. And I know you've seen movies and television shows out there that felt like this is the person. This is, the writer of the TV show or the movie thought about this person, and it's meant to be this person. And this person is basically embodying this character. It became her, and just portrayed her so fucking well. She was so wonderful, Isabel May, and she's only I think she's 21 years old. So for her to pull off this kind of role, it's so much in depth and a very there's the it's not necessarily coming of age, because it just takes place. The journey just takes place in that year, 1883. It's a very long journey, of course, but she's the same age. she's still 18, like she's 18 years old, and you see this in 1883, right? It feels like it's like a coming of age story. She experiences so much throughout this journey from Texas to Montana, and from episode 1 to the last, and you see her becoming a woman, a free woman, and it is so beautifully written, and it was almost as if this was a novel before, right? And Taylor Sheridan is he's so fucking good at doing what he does. His storytelling ability is amazing, absolutely amazing. Whether he's writing it, he's created it, he's created this world, he's either directing it. He directed the first episode, I believe, yes, the first episode, and then of course you've had reoccurring directors who came in and knocked it out of the park, and it was just awesome, and it was real, it was raw, it was something that you would read from an old Western novel, or historically based facts of how it actually was back then, so and it was so beautifully portrayed on this show, on this series, and it was a nice little wrap up, just like he said himself, Taylor Sheridan said himself, that it comes to an end. It had an ending, and that's it. There's no sequel. There's no season 2, whatever. This was just the origin story of the Dutton family in settling in Montana. They've been there for 7 generations, and then you fast forward, you go back to Yellowstone, the TV series. I just started season 4. Again, season 5 I think comes out in November. I believe November. Yeah, I think it was November 14th, I think. So just started watching season 4, and I'm gonna be binging that as well, because I'm just like, just engrossing myself to this entire project, this whole Dutton world, this Yellowstone world, and I loved it, man. And I would highly recommend if you watch it, because I think it's a beautiful story that was told, and Elsa Dutton, the character, and of course Isabel May, who is the wonderful actress who plays Elsa Dutton. Just if anything, just to see her, perform, and just be the damn character, just get herself lost in the character, is awesome, And I'm glad they didn't use a familiar face, Not that it's a distraction, like, you have Tim McGraw, you have Faith Hill. Oh my God, Faith Hill, I love her so much. I love Faith Hill so much. She is still drop dead gorgeous. That woman's a goddess. And there's of course other familiar actors, familiar faces like Sam Elliott, but these actors are character actors, and it doesn't really take away. There's no it's not jarring, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't take you away from the actual storytelling and how beautifully it is executed. So 1883, watch it. It's like an old school Western. So if you're not a fan, it's fine. But I'm telling you, the storytelling is so effing beautiful. Watch it. Okay. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for this week's episode of the House of Moody Vintage podcast. And thanks for joining me here. Okay. As I gushed and, bragged about TV shows that I've seen. You know what? It's weird. It used to be like, I used to recommend films and stuff. I used to talk about films. And I still do. But nowadays, it's like, oh my God. Sorry. Had a big dinner. Nowadays, it's more about just so much freaking content on like television content, right? Things that we stream and stuff like that. So it's like, God damn it. I would like to talk about a movie, and I do, but it's like once in a while, not as much as TV shows, because there's so many goddamn TV shows, and I mean, look at me, I'm like catching up. I'm catching up, quote unquote, catching up to Yellowstone, for goodness sake. So, yeah, good recommendations, nice recommendations. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be fucking talking about it. Straight up, okay. But yeah, that wraps it up for this week's review of what I've seen, what I've finished, what I continue to watch, and season finale, of course, tomorrow night. Well, it'll be today afternoon for me, one season finale of Miss Marvel. Again, the 6th episode thing, I don't know what Disney's doing in Phase 4. Not great. It hasn't been consistently good. You know, there have been, I wouldn't say misses, but, you know, they're just not up to their usual standard. So come on, Marvel. Come on, Disney Plus, Marvel Disney Plus. Kevin Feige, come on, bro. Come on, Kevin Feige. Bring it back, brother. Bring it back. And I think you will in the next phase. We'll see what happens. Anyways, yeah, that wraps it up. I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. Looking forward to the weekend already. I'm at that point in my life, man. I'm at that point in my life. We're looking forward to the weekend because that's my solace. And I know last episode I talked about, like, you know, relationship, 18 year. Wait, not 18 years. Sorry, that'd be crazy. 11 years of being single and all that stuff. I wanted to talk about it. Maybe it was clickbait. I don't know. Well, it wasn't really clickbait because I talked about it. It wasn't on the damn clicking thingy. But you know, yeah. Maybe we'll see. Maybe next time when it's appropriate. How about that? Okay. So at least there'll be more to come from that end. That's for sure. Because I've got some toxic shit to talk about. Okay. And I promise, man. I'm telling you, I will. Next episode. I promise. Next episode. Okay. Because right now there's a lot of content, stuff that's going on. And that's what I wanted to discuss. I want to talk about because it's fresh in my mind. The stories of the toxic stuff and relationship stuff, that's there. Okay. That's in the vault. And I will reveal it very soon. Thank you for joining me here. Whether you're listening on Spotify, whether you're listening to Apple Podcasts, or you're watching this on YouTube, I really appreciate your support. I'm humbled. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care of yourselves and treat yourselves, okay? Because if you don't love yourself, I'm telling you, it's going to be very difficult for others to love you, all right? So love yourself. Take care of yourselves. I'm out this bitch. Peace.